And of course, it was an interagency effort, as we say, among the U.S. government, working with different agencies across the government, State Department, Department of Commerce, USTR, et cetera, to really put together a platform and a framework for the U.S. to officially engage the diaspora, within our government landscape and of course, our foreign policy landscape.
This appears to be different. Is it a new way of the White House looking at Africa in a different perspective and engaging the continent and its diaspora?
Sure. So I know one of the things that the president focused on during the summit was partnership.
Right.
And so working with our African partners in a way that is mutually beneficial. And in fact, one of the quotes that he used in his speech was that we're not just focused on what we're doing in Africa, but what we're doing with Africa to achieve global objectives. And so you'll see that he announced that, we support, Africa being a part of the G20. And when it comes to the United States, we have a very unique relationship with the continent, right? Our people-to-people ties is unique, and it's our strength. And so the diaspora is our source of strength. And so we're now looking at ways in which we can officially codify that strength, right, within our U.S. government framework and say, we have an African diaspora. Right? African immigrants, those who came here through the slave trade, right? They are a part of the diaspora. It's our strength. It's our way for us to really work on people-to-people engagement. And so it's not new, but I would say that it's a way that we are looking to amplify that aspect of our foreign policy.
So talk to me. You just returned from Ivory Coast.
Yes.
Where you watched some matches at the ongoing AFCON. I understand this is the first time officially that the U.S. has sent a delegation to the AFCON, of the African Nations Cup. How was it for you going back to Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
And what did you experience there?
It was an amazing trip, and I think a very unique one because, it was a sports delegation that we sent back. Typically, when we send delegations, it's to focus on different aspects, but this was for sports. And sports diplomacy is great. One, because sports is a unifying factor. It brings people together. And when we're talking about strengthening people-to-people ties, what better way to showcase that than sports? And, the African Cup of Nations has, a wide number of countries, competing against each other. There are different countries that are represented there. And so we thought, for our first event of the council for the year, why not bring together some athletes who are part of the diaspora, with a few U.S. officials, travel to Abidjan. We attended the opening ceremony, which was amazing, by the way, phenomenal production. The opening match was amazing. But then we also took the time to meet with some young leaders. The athletes hosted some sports clinics, basketball clinics, soccer clinics, with young women. And coincidentally, the delegation was full of almost women.
Right.
We had, WNBA All-Star and Hall of Famer Lisa Leslie with us. We had Chineye Gumike, WNBA player, ESPN host, and a member of our council also traveled, and Crystal Dunn, U.S. soccer team star. So it was great because you don't always get females at the forefront of sports.